Hello YouTube, Nalina here, and I am back with another house building video. In today's video we have another ranch house, sort of. This is another house based off of a real house that I saw. My aunt is a realtor and we were looking at houses for my other aunt, and this is one of the houses that we went to see. This is actually considered a mansion or a mini mansion or something. It's like a ranch manor thing. I don't know. It's huge. There were 6 bedrooms. There were two living rooms, or an entertainment room and a living room and a dining room and like an office. And then the basement had a bar and a games section and like 3 more rooms. There was a pool and some swings, a gazebo, which I didn't add here. Um, and then the glass rooms, the sunrooms that I'm gonna connect towards the upper, those two like rectangular rooms on the top, those are actually 2 sunroofs that connect to a larger sunroof. Um, the one more towards the right actually faced the yard where the gazebo and the swing set was, and then the other one to the left actually led you into another section which had a hot tub and like just a space to sit down in, and then there was a pool outside of that, which that room also led you to. um, there was like a little porch area. It was just really a walkway that led you down to the pool area. It was super old looking. But honestly, you could see the potential in this house and it was just gorgeous. And unfortunately, we cannot afford to take it. It's already been sold and somebody has it now. And, good luck to them because there's a lot of work that needs to be done in this house and it's going to look amazing. Or in that house. I kept a lot of the original layout of the house. Especially in the kitchen area. So we entered through the mudroom on the side, which currently is that small little rectangular space on the, well, now on the left, now on the right. So we came in through there. There's a mudroom. And when you come in through there, there were all these cabinets and counters. And then there was like an island that kind of stuck out between in the middle of all of that. And I really liked it. I kind of had an idea for this space, but I was like, you know what? I'll leave it like a little informal little breakfast area. It looked like maybe they had a business there or something in the house, or maybe they baked there. And then the kitchen itself was really small, which I kind of kept it that way. But when we went in the house, I could just definitely tell you that it was like walking in circles because one room led you to another room, led you to a hallway, had 2 more entrances to the other bedrooms in the back. But once you came out of the bedroom into the hallway, there was an entrance to the living room, which led out back into the kitchen, but also through the dining room. So there were a lot of twists and turns. So much so that I kind of forgot about one of the bathrooms. And I almost forgot about the little section where they put their laundry washer and dryer. But that's that little box that's in that room there. It's just kind of, it looks like a random little box. But yeah, that's where they have the laundry. And they actually had some shelves, which because of the way the game works, I wasn't able to replicate it 100%. But you will have like a small little laundry room right there in the kitchen. And then right there was the basement entrance, which they had a door that kind of hid the stairs, which was another thing where you walked out from. And but I left it open just because, again, the game doesn't really allow you to kind of close the door so close to the stairs, and that would have created an awkward space. So I just created the staircase behind the laundry room. And another thing about the house was that it had these really nice layout of landscaping in the front. So I was like, great, I'm gonna replicate this. And then I tried some things different where I found these new trees. I don't really know where those trees are from. I'm pretty sure I built this before Eco Living came out. And so I was like, ooh, pretty trees. And then I just shrunk them. The house also did have these 3 trees in the front, and I just kept thinking, wow, this is so pretty. And then it was like a small hill that came up off the street and the sidewalk, and the house was a little bit like lifted up. It was really, I mean, if you could see past, you know, how old everything was, you could really see how beautiful this house was. And oh boy, was it beautiful. I mean, I would tear out all the carpets, but it was beautiful. One of my favorite rooms in the house was actually a room that was definitely an office, and it was the room all the way to the left, which actually you could see in that first area in the kitchen where all the cabinets were. There was like a little hallway that kind of went back. It might have just been the cabinet was pushed out. Um, I definitely think it was a hallway though. I connected it differently here. But we went in there and we stuck our heads in because there was carpet on the floor again. And so we were like, it's kind of dusty looking. We don't want to go in there in case of anything. So we popped our heads in, and I immediately fell in love because one side of the room was completely shelves from top to bottom and all across the whole wall. And then the other side, where the only window in the room was, actually had it was like two, I want to say 2 panels, I guess, of bookshelves, or like it was bookshelves basically. So it was like if you had 2 bookshelves on either side of the window. And I was just like, oh my god, the dream. Like I wanted it to have that house so badly. One bad thing about it though was that because of the way everything was laid out, it was pretty dark, especially in this kitchen area, even though they had like a glass door leading into the room that you can see behind here. It was a glass door, and then it was another full glass door and windows to go into this next room, which was kind of like an entertainment room. It looked like another game room. But it still managed to be so dark. And we did go like on a bright and sunny day. It was like in the afternoon and the sun was still up, but whew, it was dark in there. At least in this middle section it was. But when you went into like that one office room, or if you went into the main dining area, which was huge, it was so bright because they had really big windows. And then also on in the main living room, which had a fireplace, it was amazing. They also had a large window in there. The bedrooms were humongous, and then they had like 3 more bedrooms downstairs, which again, the basement was really dark. There was very little light down there. But I think I did a good job of brightening up the place. We didn't turn on any light switches except for when we went into the basement. So I'm sure once you turn everything on, then it would have been much better. So I'm just placing, excuse me, there goes the yawn. I can never speak without yawning. But here is the main section where they had all these shelves, and I even put like those cabinet pieces there because they had cabinets everywhere, or they had small corner shelves just about everywhere. They had glass shelves. Whoever lived there, it's like, whoa. I would have loved to have seen it with the furniture. So this is the room that I made. I actually changed up this room and I moved the door. Yeah, there we go. Because it was going to interfere with the thing. I just realized that when we came in here that I probably did things a little bit weird. I did a little bit backwards for sure. But yeah. that was my bad because I did not lay out I couldn't really remember how it was laid out for the kitchen. And like, I'm pretty sure there was like a little hallway there, because it didn't connect to anything else. It was just like a hallway, and then there was a wall that we came out, like when you came out of it, then there was like the kitchen, which was very narrow and just very small. The like where the stove and the fridge were very small, but then you had all those cabinets and all that storage on the other side. So it was still pretty cool. So I did make this into an office, and I decided that so this house is gonna have a lot of like skill building items. As you can see, I've already added a camera there with the tripod. There's a keyboard in here. This room gets moved around a lot of it because I did want the desk by the window, but I didn't like want the sun like blinding you, even though I'm pretty sure that the sun kind of sets behind here. So I just moved things around a little bit because as I was putting it together, I was like, okay, this person's definitely an artist. They create things. We had also gone to see another house where this person was into some big music stuff or voice acting or podcast. They had a setup and a half in their house. They had drums, everything. And I was thoroughly impressed by that one. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that here. I'm going to make sure, because this is such a huge space, that we have a lot of things for skill building. There's a lot of gaming sections, like a pool, the ping pong table is in here. So this house definitely requires you to have like a lot of the packs. I mean, hey, go ahead if you want it to be a little bit more minimalistic, or do other things like woodworking or anything like that, depending on what the packs are that you have. I'm sure you can figure it out and fill it up, or just get rid of those rooms if you don't need them. Make the house a bit smaller. So that was the main dining room, and here is the living room, which was like, what the heck? Because it was actually a lot bigger than this. And I was like so blown away by it. I couldn't even. And actually, this tiny little hallway over here was much bigger. So here I am just trying some things, but whatever I was doing there with the like framework up above, I didn't like it without the you know what? Maybe I'll have to just go ahead and put no columns, and then maybe that'll work better for the fireplace. But I thought that would, maybe not with this particular fireplace, and maybe in a bigger house with like taller walls, that might look a little bit more epic. That was probably a little bit too, I don't know, maybe goth for this build. This is just a little suburban ranch thing. I don't know if this house is considered like a manor or something. I should probably check out what is considered a manor. Like, how many rooms do you have to be? How much property, acres and such. Because I don't really know. Like, I do not see myself having like a huge house like that. I kind of want to like a small little house for my little self and minding my own little business. But yeah, this was just such a gorgeous house, and I'm really excited that I used that record set from Get Famous. I was like really excited to use it. I was like, that was probably one of the pieces that I was dead set on like putting in the build. Every single time that I build something, I try to use a new item that I haven't used prior, or something that well, basically something that I've never used, because there are a lot of items that I use very consistently because they're just my favorite things to work with, and I think they go pretty well with my aesthetic and just the style in which I do certain things. But I was like, no, I'm gonna do this. Even those green like chairs, I never use them. I was like, I'm gonna use these and I'm gonna leave it there. I think it went well with the beige or the cream couch. So yep. And then this was another room. I mean, it might have been a bedroom if I'm honest. It was one of the smaller rooms in the house. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, it most definitely was a bedroom. But it was kind of awkward because of the fact that it had two entrances. And then they did have like a powder room, and then the full bathroom was somewhere else, which again, I couldn't even wrap my mind the way that around the way that house was laid out, because there was just so many little twists and turns here and there, and all these special spaces were made to kind of go into each next room. But it was such a lovely, like, I'm so happy that I got to go in there and see it. So that was just a smaller entertainment room. That's where you have the TV at. I kind of skipped the bedrooms here a little bit because behold, another long video. But also because we're gonna go back into that pink room. And here I am again using my favorite blue furniture from Pets, Cats and Dogs. Sorry, the Cats and Dogs pack. And then I think that's from Glamour Stuff pack, that table, which I love. I really need to do a glamour build that's like focused just on that. And it's probably going to be black and white just because the other colors, or maybe cream. Oh, excuse me, or the cream or the gray. I still got to get to my garden, which is probably not going to happen for some time. I mean, my greenhouse. And the reason why I say that is because I know that I want to, well, I opened up a subscription with World of Warcraft again. Sure, we're probably going to see some more crafting videos. Let me know if you play World of Warcraft. I don't know if it's like possible to add friends across realms. That would be nice. And the reason why, I mean, I don't mind starting a new character and like creating alt um, on another server. I would be fine with that. But yeah, I still even haven't played in like 4 days. I started getting into resin. I want to sell some like paperweights and just make some pretty cool like geek stuff, like nerd girl stuff. And so yeah, that's kind of been my focus so far. I'm just practicing with like bracelets, and I'm going to be making chest pieces as well. I definitely need to order a second mold so that the chest piece situation can develop a lot more quickly. I think the main reason why I only bought one was just in case I didn't really get into it, and also just in case I became impatient. And I want to be patient when learning a new like trade. But yeah, here was the bar. This layout was like this. The only difference was that the other rooms like behind the staircase was, excuse me, it was angled a bit differently. Like it had a little bit of an angle, and then behind the staircase was extra tight. And apparently I didn't want to go down there because it looked a little dusty. And sometimes when I'm in dusty areas, it kind of creeps me out, and I'm just like, eh. So I was like, I won't go in there, but it looked like maybe there was an entrance to go outside, which I thought that's so cool, because even if there were just like a whole family living here, or there was a whole family living here, like if you wanted or needed to, you could have rented out the back space, because that means they didn't have to go through your main household area. So there was this space right here, which I kept thinking, oh, this is probably another place where they just put like a TV or something and they just hang out. It could have also been a pool table. I'm not gonna lie. Something that I definitely added the foosball table. Like that could have been another item that was down there. I added the cards table. First of all, I love the cards table. I like when my Sims play on there. So much fun. But there was a lamp in the basement that was so low that I was like, there's definitely a cards table that used to go here, and people used to play cards here and have a great time. And so like my mind was made up about that. Um this section was actually way bigger than I made it here. The kitchen was actually a lot smaller, but I felt like I wanted to line it up with the bar, because again, that kind of space behind the stairs was a little awkward. So when you come down the stairs, immediately you walk into the kitchen, and then there's a little slant, and then another slant, and you go through a glass door there is that white room that looked like the entrance, and then the bathroom was actually back there, I was told. And then there was two rooms, like another hallway, and then it led to some more rooms. And then there was like a random shower, which was on the up on where this room is supposed to be at. Again, I added some artistic things in here. I kept thinking that this family is successful. They're into art. They kind of work together. Even though there's someone who does music upstairs. And actually, in the room down here, I put like one of those tables. I don't know if I put the right table. Like, I don't know if it's a sister table to another item. But I definitely put a table, like a music table. Not this one. That one. I think if you like play something and record it, you could go there and do something with it. I'll be honest, I've never actually used that. Because I don't really get famous for making music. Like, I haven't really gotten that. I mean, I got famous just off of like being nice to people, but that's about it. I don't think I've done any successful famous people. Except, no, I want to make John Zest famous. Like, I want to play a Let's Play with John Zest and make him famous. But yeah, so I put that music thing down there, and I figured, I think that like you can record your music and like go there and do stuff with it. So I was like, maybe she works upstairs in the main office area for her music. Someone else, and maybe she or he or whoever does videos as well in that room, or maybe it's their parents who does like something with the internet, and the music thing is just there so that they could like have a space for it. Am I making sense? I feel like I kind of started babbling. But anyway, I was just kind of connecting the dots and thinking that everyone kind of does something that contributes to the other one's talents. So that's just where my mind was when I was putting these things in the room. And also, these are things that I really don't use that much. So I wanted to add them in this house because I hope to play here. I actually put my sim, like my self sim that I made for the 31-day challenge, in this house. And I didn't realize that I didn't pause the game, and she died from being too hot. So I have officially passed on in the land of the Sims. And I was like, I'm gonna live here. And then my game just pulled me out of the screenshot like mode and was like, you died. And I was just sitting here like, no. Mostly because I had done some editing to the build, which I had not saved. So I had to go back in and redo it. And then secondly, I wasn't sure if I would be able to mimic it the right way. So I didn't want to, my goodness, I didn't want to do all that stuff all over again. But then I was like, is this a sign I'll never own a beautiful home? It made me so sad. Like, I'll never be in here again. Which is fine because I'll totally change up some stuff. But anyway, that's okay, I guess. Man, it was so depressing, I gotta say. So at this point, I definitely turned on move objects. There were some things that I was trying to work out. I didn't want to make the gazebo in the back, and then I found this piece again. And I was like, you know what? I don't use this piece that often. And then I was just like, I'm gonna use it. Like, I said it just like that to myself. So I used them again, and then I actually found like another piece. I don't know what it's called. I think it's an awning. These pieces here, and I just kind of do that to them. Oh my goodness, I think I need to breathe. I need some air. I'm not taking in enough air. I'm not taking in enough breaths of air, so I'm kind of like yawning over here. But yeah, so there we go. I added that. I connected it there. And then this was another part that I did that took me, holy smokes, this part took me at least 2 hours. And that's because I was messing with the rays of the ground. So I was messing with the lens. What's it called? The terrain. I was messing with the terrain tool. And then I decided to go ahead and turn on live um, edit objects and look for these stones that I see people using. Um, I don't know if that I like them that much for this purpose because they look like they are trying to trip you over and like make you fall. I did put seeds in those pots, but for some reason, every time I put them in, they kind of like, I think once you go into live mode, they grow or they're fully grown. Like you don't have to do anything to them. But when you kind of do this in, those were all grown up. I don't understand. When you do it in like build mode, for some reason, it's like really awkward. So then I was like, I'm gonna add a pond thing here. Because I think I had watched somebody make their own like koi pond, and I was like, I want one of those. Honestly, though, do I want one? Yes. Do I want to maintain one? No. I don't want to maintain that at all. I don't like to invest in things that I have to clean up. That's gonna take me too much effort to clean up because I just feel like my time could be used better doing something else. So I don't like to like clean up too much, which is why I want a small house for myself. I don't want a big house when the time comes. Hopefully soon. Hopefully I can afford it. Or I'm gonna have to figure out how to do the hustle. Cause so far I've just been chillaxing, if I'm honest. Yep. So I decided I was gonna put a fireplace in there, but the more I started adding those little like planter pots, I decided to just extend the fountain pond thing. And then I was like, voila, beautiful. It's perfect. We do um, turn that chair around a little bit. Yeah, this is just, I was like, I'm not going to add a garden here. But honestly, there was so many acres or whatever. I don't know. Is it considered acres still if it's this small? There was so much land I didn't know what to do with, so I had to go ahead and actually add the planter or the gardening area. So anyway, here are the screenshots. Here's my bright blue kitchen. Their kitchen was actually blue, so that kitchen is, for the most part, very accurate. Here is the office area, which I decorated. There's a lot of shelves area, so you can add maybe family pictures if you moved in. That's kind of what I think about when I leave certain things like seemingly undone or like open spaces. I want you to be able to personalize it. That bathroom was add in last. This is the bedroom, the pink bedroom on the first floor. This was the full bathroom. I didn't actually, oh yeah, I actually did look at it. It was horrendous. Here's the bedroom downstairs. This was the walk-in area that I was talking about, the sunroom that led you to the hot tub. And I kind of made it like a meditation slash yoga area with like those open windows. Even though I'm pretty sure it was closed in glass, but I like to think you could get some open space. But yeah, that is the build. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up. Maybe leave a comment. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Okay, bye.